Why do mosasaurs like ammonites? They're not even that tasty. Oh, blooming hell, better off with a steak pie, me. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing... never mind. Just as a little follow-up to the Prognathodon video, I thought I'd cover one of the genera that escaped Prognathodon, Thalassotitan. The fellow who, in the background right now, is flinging another smaller mosasaur into the air like a... So, first of all, what is Thalassotitan? Now, for those who don't know what Thalassotitan is based on the previous Prognathodon video, Thalassotitan is a large Prognathodon-tine mosasaurine mosasaur. Yeah, it gets very confusing. And it's come from the Maastrichtian age phosphates of Morocco and dated to around about 67 to 66 million years ago. We don't know exactly how long Thalassotitan lived for, but it's a rough estimate. Now, Thalassotitan atrox for a very long time had a particularly tumultuous history, both phylogenetically and taxonomically. So, for a very long time, beautiful specimens like this Thalassotitan skull you can see above me were coming out of the Maastrichtian age phosphates of Morocco. But because of various factors including the preservation of the fossils, the frequency of the fossils, logistical features, it was very hard to describe these, and for a very, very long time, a lot of these specimens are either known as Prognathodon anceps, Mosasaurus anceps, Prognathodon affinity giganteus, Prognathodon affinity saturata, and even Prognathodon sp. nov, which meant it was a new species, but nobody got round to it yet. And this was quite annoying because the Prognathodon sp. nov, blah 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 blah, which would eventually become Thalassotitan, were quite common and were said to be a top predator in the ecosystem. So this was a keystone species that we have sort of been like, we don't really know what it is. Until 2022, when Longrich et al. Described these specimens and finally gave them a name. And strangely, we were all expecting Prognathodon, but it was a new genus. It was Thalassotitan. Now, there's various aspects of Thalassotitan that actually make it unique from Prognathodon, which was what it was previously assigned to. But the key thing we're going to focus on is the teeth. Now, Thalassotitan teeth are a lot like Prognathodon teeth. They're quite robust, however, they're proportionally shorter. This is actually a feature that makes them somewhat similar to Prognathodon saturata from Europe. However, the tips of the teeth in Thalassotitan atrox are actually pointed rather than blunted in most Prognathodon species. Blunt. Well, that describes my personality and intelligence down to a T. Or what comes after T? Oh yeah, you! Got you. Fell for my trap. But anyways, other differences in the teeth including the fact that Thalassotitan teeth actually have faceting. Well, we say have. Some individuals have it, some don't. Now, the teeth would have had this faceting, which I believe that some of the younger individuals would have had, but I believe that the adults would have lost them later in life. Now, the facets may have been there for strengthening the teeth in younger individuals, but who knows, we need to do more research on that. And as I explained in the previous video on Prognathodon, a lot of these Moroccan teeth that you see that are labelled either Mosasaurus or Prognathodon, they're actually Thalassotitan, so you're getting the teeth of a recently described new genus with a really cool name. Just hear that again. Thalassotitan means sea titan. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And the teeth were in the gob of a right big one. I mean, look at the size of it, absolutely massive. Up to 10 metres in length. Thalassotitan was one of the biggest mosasaurs at the time. The only ones that were probably bigger are going to be Haniosaurus, some other species of Prognathodon, and the king himself, Mosasaurus hoffmanni. And when you've got a big gobbed, big bodied, big bruiser-weight mosasaur like Thalassotitan, there's going to be a lot of fights. In fact, quite a few individuals in the Thalassotitan paper that describe it as a new species noted a lot of paleopathologies, which are basically injuries on a fossil, and a lot of them may have been face biting, which is actually quite a common behaviour across all mosasaurs. It's also common across dinosaurs as well. A lot of large predatory dinosaurs engage in face biting, so it's not exclusive just to the water. It can be for the land as well, let them have it as well. In fact, these big bruiser mosasaurs were actually bullying the other mosasaurs. In the same paper that describes Thalassotitan, the paleontologists also described the remains of mosasaurs, a plesiosaur, a turtle, some fish, just a lot of little bits that seem to have been acid etched and crunched up by a larger predator. And the most likely candidate in the area is definitely Thalassotitan. I mean, right below me now is the mosasaur that was flinging up into the air, the Haliosaurus. I mean, that's about it's alligator size mosasaur, and it's getting bullied by a big 10-metre mosasaur, and then eaten, as you can see with this. Must have been tasty. So, apart from revalidating the tribe of Prognathodontini, Thalassotitan also potentially shows that there's not just the one species. Two of the mosasaur species, Prognathon stratorata and Prognathon curiae, have actually been found to recover alongside Thalassotitan in phylogenetic analyses. This probably means that those two species of Prognathon are actually going to be eventually moved into Thalassotitan, so Thalassotitan could end up having 3 species, and all of them are big bruiserweight mosasaurs, which is quite exciting. But now, this is the interesting part of the video that I wanted to come to. Thalassotitan wasn't just restricted to Morocco. In fact, the paper that described Thalassotitan suggests that isolated mosasaur teeth from all over the world might actually belong to Thalassotitan. So Thalassotitan seems to have been a global dominator. It's almost like the big villain. It's like a Thanos, or it's like a Doctor Doom, or it's like a Dr. Octopus, or... Kite Man! Yeah, Kite Man. So these teeth, right here in this image, are actually from Poland, and they are very, very similar to what was previously known as Mosasaurus anceps, which means these are likely to be Thalassotitan. Thalassotitan was in Europe. There's even this fragmentary tooth, which is just labelled Mosasauridea indet. It looks very, very similar in robustness to Thalassotitan, so Thalassotitan could have been in Germany. And it does not stop there. 2 friends of mine made a publication this year on mosasaurs from North Carolina, and some of the teeth that they found potentially are Thalassotitan, but they only say they are similar. So Thalassotitan, maybe, maybe not. We're definitely not going to have another Prognathon situation where something might be Prognathon, something might... Let's just move on very quickly. But yeah, the point of this is that Thalassotitan isn't restricted to just Morocco, and in fact there's more remains of it that maybe shows this animal, like Mosasaurus, like Hanosaurus, and like Prognathon, it was a global dominator. But what does this all imply? Well, there's several different factors that it implies. First of all, Thalassotitan could be a migratory species. It could migrate from point to point to point to point to point across the year, maybe following a food source, or maybe females are migrating to give birth to their young. Or it could just be that Thalassotitan as an animal, maybe even Thalassotitan atrox, the species itself, is very adaptable and is able to survive in a multitude of different environments across the world. And what is quite interesting is that Thalassotitan and Prognathon seem to have a close relationship. Obviously we find Thalassotitan and Prognathon curiae in North Africa. We have Thalassotitan and Prognathon in Europe. And we also potentially have Thalassotitan and Prognathon in North America as well, in North Carolina, based on my friend's paper. So what could this all mean? Well, it could mean that Thalassotitan and Prognathon are either competing or niche partitioning, so basically they're eating different foods and that stops them from competing. But let's suppose that these two mosasaurs are actually competing. This would encourage intertribal competition, which would therefore mean that these sort of robust-jawed mosasaurs, like Thalassotitan and like Prognathon, are able to grab a foothold in the ecosystems that they dwell within. And therefore, that's how these mosasaurs are global dominators, both of them living together, competing against each other, and maybe even niche partitioning, just living together and not having to compete. The blunt-toothed Prognathodons probably go after harder prey more often than the Thalassotitan, and the Thalassotitan can hunt a mixture of prey and stay out of Prognathodon's way. But purely, this is all just speculation that I've come up with when I've been thinking about mosasaurs and researching mosasaurs, and Thalassotitan is a very interesting case. So I hope this has been an enjoyable video for you all. I hope you've learned something new, and I'll see you later. Ta-ta.